There you go. So this estimating sheet has, the first thing I want you guys to understand that there are multiple sheets in this file. Multiple sheets, and I'm not going to teach you Excel because we got into it last time on Friday. There's so many ways, guys, of printing from Excel and designing Excel. Excel is very powerful, completely powerful software. There are close to 16 sheets on this one, so if you click on that tab, all these are different sheets or different tabs of this project. If you're not familiar with Excel, please be aware of that one. So that's the basics. If you want to go to the first, you go right in here. That icon here, DJ, takes you all the way to the beginning. This icon here should take you all the way to the end if you click it in the right way. All the way to the end, which is, here's the end, right here. Okay, beginning, and click on the beginning. Takes you all the way to the beginning. This one, end, take you all the way to the end. Okay, so these are the basic ones, guys. 14, close to 16 sheets. Let me just go over the sheets and how it's laid out. And then we'll talk slightly into it. I'm gonna walk you through over the tabs. So tab number 1, as you guys can see, it's takeoff. Remember how we said that, there are 9 steps of estimating? 9 steps of estimating, right? Anybody can remember the 9 steps? Step number 1, understand the scope of work. What's step number 2? Understand the scope of work. What's step number 2? Right here. Takeoff, which is measuring distances and counting components. Step number 3, pricing and laboring. So we're going to price. So let's talk about step number 1. Here's step number 1, guys. Or this should be step number 2, because understanding the scope of work, you guys already did that. So takeoff number 1. This sheet is assigned for you to do the takeoff. So this sheet is assigned for you to do the takeoff. Okay? So I'll go over it, but just overview. First, guys, I'm going to give you an overview of the whole system. Then we'll kind of zoom into certain things. Okay, so here's the sheet number 1 where you're supposed to, come on, buddy. You're supposed to do your takeoff. And if you guys look at the fixtures, we have switches, we have receptacles, and we have low voltage, and by any means, feel free to change it, by any means. Okay, so that's takeoff number 1. Takeoff number 2, we're still in the takeoff. They're doing, and by any means, feel free to change them. If you want to adjust them, that's just a frame of work for you. Let me tell you one little thing, guys. I encourage you not to change the frame, change things inside the frame, but not change the frame. For example, you can add different wires right in here. Okay, here's takeoff number 2. Again, overview, takeoff number 3. Anything that says takeoff, you're going to see that there's white. It's not colored here, which means you, my friend, you have to put numbers in it. You have to put numbers in these cells. These cells are math cells. You are supposed to put numbers in these math cells. Okay? So this is takeoff number 3. Questions about takeoff number 3, just as an overview. That's 3 sheets to take off. The 4th sheet to take off home runs. Mike holds, and you don't have, well, you have to do it this time this way, but normally we might not do it the same way. Mike holds, guys, in this book, he does the takeoff for branch circuits and feeders, all of them together, lump sum, and then leave the home run, which is the last receptacle, to the panel, leaves that one, and that particular, just the home run, from the last receptacle or light to the overconduction device in the panel, he calls these home runs. So air conditioning home run, that's just from the air conditioning directly to the panel. If it's a receptacle, it will be that light was the first light on the circuit to come from this light all the way up to here. That's will be your home run. Remember how we assigned the little home run, guys, for all these receptacles? From that place where we assign the home run directly to the panel will be your home run. These are not all what you need. You might have to add things and or modify the language here, guys. You might look at the circuits. Definitely, these are not the circuit that you circuited, guys. So you need just to editing and modification. Okay, so sheet number 1, guys, all the way through sheet number 4 is take off. Can you guys write yourself these first 4 sheets are take off? Yes, sir.
So when you're figuring your home runs, do you want to, I mean, is it direct, you want to just figure that you're going to go straight from the panel do you need to square stuff off when you're doing it?
For the sake of the takeoff, square.
Square.
Yep, if you're coming from here to the panel, you're going to go straight over here, and you might have to go a foot down, a foot this way, and then down, just for the sake of the takeoff. Absolutely.
Don't sell yourself short.
Though these are cables, and you might not run in the right angle, knowing that these are cables, guys. But for the amount of right angle is not going to make a big of a difference, number one. And I want you guys to get used to taking off with conduits. That's where we run, the right angles. Conduits with right angles. Any question so far, guys, about 1 through 4 are takeoff? 1 through 4 are your takeoff. Now, Brad, if you decided you want to add another sheet or modify any of these existing sheets, by any means do it. By any means do it. I don't want you guys to get say, well, I can't work with this format or whatever. Feel free to change the format. This is just the format. What I really like about this one, guys, I really do like it. This is the only time with Chad or anywhere else where somebody will you get into building assemblies, because that's what this system is doing, building assemblies. When we go to McCormick system, you're going to find that the assemblies are already built for you. So it's really, and the labor is assigned for you, and the price is assigned for you, which is easier. But then if you're in a situation where you have to adjust your assemblies later on, at least that will help you. Any question from 1 to 4? Everybody knows that there are 4 sheets to take off. Cool. All right. Now let's go to sheet number. Okay. Take a snapshot. So sheet 1 to 4. Now moving on to sheet number bill of material. Bill of material, that's when you're going to start assigning, guys. These stuff are linked. Bill of material. I have bill of material 1, bill of material 2, bill of material 3, bill of material 4, bill of material 5. So 5 sheets, as you guys can see, all the way. Bill of material 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I have 5 sheets of bill of material. Let's look at what the bill of material, guys, is going to be. I'll have an outside fixture. You're assigning, remember how the fixture, we said we take them as labor only and price are quoted. So, but we still have to assign box for the fixtures and certain things. So if you look at the fixtures, all the light fixture, they're assigning a round box for them or a fan box. Is it a fan box or a round box? And the labor assigned to each one of these boxes. I can help you guys. These are how you assign labor for your fixtures. Labor for your fixtures as well as a box. Assign labor for your fixtures. If you click on this, okay, come on, bud. If you click on any of these sheets, if you look at the way at the top here, can you guys see that one? And I'll go into this one in more details. It says takeoff 1-B4. This cell, for those who don't know Excel, this cell is tied to takeoff number 1, cell number B4. B4. That's how we carry it. So the number of fixture outside wall light. You go carry, you took the fixtures, you carry that cell, you plug it in here, and then you have to decide, is it going to have a round box or a fan box, or any other boxes, you can modify it. In this case, we have 9 of them, and each one of them will have a round box, and the total labor hours is 2.25. Total labor hours is 2.25. So this is putting your material together. List number 1. Let me just go to list number 2 quick. Bill of material 2, the receptacles that you guys took down there, it will be assigning a box, a switch, and a plate to them. You know what? Bill of material probably is the hardest one of them all, because, guys, you are building assemblies. As you take off a receptacle, one receptacle, when you take it off with take off, you need to go assign a cover for it and a box. assign a cover and a box. And that's what this is doing. It's taking single pole receptacle. I have 20 of them. I need to assign their single pole switches. There are 20 of them right here, single pole. And plates, I want to assign plates for these. I'm not filling the stuff yet. And I need to assign the plates. Is it plate, single pole, 2 gang, single gang, 2 gang, or 3 gang? Sometimes you have the 3 receptacles together, like four or 3 receptacles like together, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The cover will be a 5 gang cover versus the receptacle will be single pole receptacle switch. Does that make sense?
If
DJ?
what if it's like a receptacle switch or a specialized plate?
You might guess you're gonna modify it. If you have a switch receptacle in one yoke,
Yeah, no,
Or-
like a P18.
yes, a receptacle switch in
Yeah.
one cover. You're gonna modify this one. Yeah, this is just, guys, the general stuff on it. If you have a situation where you have a receptacle and a switch, we can, right? Not common. You don't want usually receptacles are the higher for cabinets or lower at the bottom. But if you have a receptacle and switch right in here, then you have to. There is no cover for this right now. Okay, so this is assigning receptacles and covers. Before we get into the details, guys, B3 all the way, bill of material receptacles. Look at the same thing with receptacles. When we go to B3, guys, I have 15 amp weatherproof receptacles. I have 100 of them, and single gang box 100. I'm not grouping them. And I assigned, because they are weatherproof, 15, they're GFCI receptacles. So the device is a GFCI, and the plate is going to be a weatherproof plate. These are, that's kind of where you start slicing things, guys. Not every GFCI is the same as any other GFCI. I can have a GFCI with a weatherproof cover or a GFCI with a normal cover, right? So that's where you're going to think as you take off your GFCIs. Is this a weatherproof GFCI, garage GFCI, garage door, convenience receptacles? Before you start taking off, guys, please, and if you made a mistake, by any means, you can change it at the end and relink things. It's not a big deal. But as you take your receptacles, please ask yourself these things. Number 1, is it GFCI? Yep, so it has to be GFCI. Is it a GFCI outside? Because I want to separate it from GFCI inside. Why? Because I need a cover for it. So switches. You're going to ask yourself, guys, your switches, as you put your switches, are these switches grouped together? So they need a multi-gang cover for them. Switch 1, 2, and 3. I have 3 switches, but when it comes to the boxes, I need a 3-gang box for them because they're next to each other. So think exactly like an electrician. 3-gang box. So I link them at the place where it says 3-gang. And the cover is going to be 3-gang cover or single-gang cover. Are you guys following me? I have switch number 1, switch number 2, and switch number 3 here. These are all single switches, except the box that they're going to be in. Look how all of them are taken as single switch, single pole, single switch, 15 amp. All of them. Then the box, here's my box. This box is going to be taken as a 3-gang box. You guys agree with that? 3-gang box. If that's how they sit next to each other. And how about the cover? Don't you think these are going to have a nice, beautiful cover like this? Or plate? The plate is going to be a 3-gang plate. And that's what I hate about this system, guys. Is you are building the assemblies as it goes. When we use McCormick, so easy. If you have 3 receptacles together, you take them as 3 switches together. You take them as 3 switches like this, assembly, and it will take the box for you, the cover, the 3-gang box, the 3-gang plate, and the receptacles all together. With this software, unfortunately, it forces you to think. Yes, sir.
So, like when you're doing the GFI, do you actually only count the GFI, even though you may load 15 GFIs after that?
That's GFCI protected. Any GFCI protected will be taken as convenient receptacle. It's a receptacle. So you count a GFCI as a device. This is a GFCI, for example. This is a GFCI protected. When you take it off, this will be taken as GFCI receptacle, and this will be taken as 15 amp 120 convenient receptacle, non-GFCI. Yeah, because you talk about the device itself, not how it's protected.
So just a regular receptacle like that is called convenience? Is that what you're calling it?
They're calling it convenient receptacle. Yeah. You can change that one, the name could be a receptacle. There's some naming you guys have to kind of get used to it, garage door and for example, garage GFCI, what's the difference between garage GFCI and any other GFCI? In reality, no. So you're going to think to yourself, when you put in a garage GFCI, it's like any other, if you put a garage GFCI and a kitchen GFCI, is there any difference in the cover? No difference. So you can for any practical reasons, you can eliminate this one and call it GFCI receptacles. 20 amps, except they're using amps. Here, they're splitting it based on amps. Here's a 20 amps bathroom GFCI protected. Now, bathroom GFCI protected, they are convenient receptacles. They call them bathroom GFCI protected. If you want to stick with the way they name them, great. If you want to add them, Brad, under convenient receptacles, because they are convenient receptacles. Be my guest. Kitchen GFCI protected, basement GFCI, basement. That's the way they took it. Honestly, all these protected ones, you can all call them 20 amp 20 amp receptacles. But if you want to stick with the way they did them, just take them, yeah, just stay with the same format. It'll be easier for you.
What is the multi-outlet assembly? It's just like a 3-game?
Multi-outlet assembly is something you're looking at right here in front of me. Multi-outlet assembly. Have we used a multi-outlet assembly in our class, in our project? If you use a multi-outlet assembly, you use it. Otherwise, what do? Don't delete it. Just leave the 0. If you don't put anything here, guys, it will assign a 0 for it. Okay, so that's basically the takeoff. I'm going to go all the way to takeoff number 3, GFCI, takeoff number 4. The telephone, the same thing, guys. I have my telephone. I'm going to go take a snapshot and exit, if I can. The telephone, all your telephone outlets are assigned here. Every time I touch it. Okay, let me just see the math here. There you go. The math here, close. Take a snapshot. Don't do it again for me. There you go, because I'm holding that one. There you go. If you guys look at the takeoff, see what it says. This cell is actually tied to takeoff 1B39. Anything red, by the way, I didn't mention, anything red, the amount of changes, if you see things, cells like this in red, the amount of changes is minimum from your side. Minimum from your side. Did you guys hear me? Anything red, like here, everything here is the amount of changes that you have to do is minimum. I would say 10%. Anything white, like we went to the takeoff number, look at that. All these cells are white. You have to put numbers here. The red, minimum changes from your side. Minimum changes from your side. Okay, so here's my bill of material for the phone. My bill of material for brand circuits. Bill of material for brand circuits, guys. They took the brand circuit separate. You don't have to do that. They just took the brand circuit separate. So from bill of material, sheet, we have from 1 all the way to how many sheets do we have? 5? 5 sheets. That's going to be bill of material. You would never see this one in a real software. These are behind the scene type calculation. The software already assigned a box, a 3-way switch to a box to a cover, guys. But I can't, for those of you who are going to be project manager estimators, please just take a few seconds and understand how this works. You are building assemblies. You're building assemblies. That's what you're doing here. You're building assemblies. Any question, guys, about these? Any question? I'll walk you through how they're linked in an example. But bill of material 1 through 5. You are taking all the stuff that you took off. You put it in a different sheet right now, and you're assigned a box and a cover for it. For the most part. Any question, my friends? Now let's move from the bill of material into the pricing and laboring. Now we assigned a bill of material, and I'm going to go to my, see how I'm moving my slides all the way to pricing and laboring. Everybody is at the pricing and laboring all the way up. Pricing and laboring all the way up. Pricing and laboring. Now all the stuff that I took, guys, from the bill of material will be assigned a price and a labor. Feel free to modify this one. The price is low for this sheets. Feel free to modify it. It's in red for one reason, because I don't want you to modify it more than 10%. Otherwise, it becomes tedious. So if you guys look at this, you remember that round plastic boxes that we took? They're here. And I'm assigning a cost of this amount of cost. What does E mean? Each. And then I did the extension here, the software did the extension here. Then I went to the labor, I'm assigning 0.1 hour each, and I'm assigning a 0.9 hour for these nine round boxes. I assigned labor to my fixtures, installing my fixtures round boxes, my fixture round boxes, which include the fixture.
If that doesn't seem right.
Feel free to modify it, but I don't want you to get engaged into the modification system and the price. Oh, I don't agree with this price until you finish the whole. Because you can finish your takeoff, link them, and at the end and say, you know what, Chad, you're full of baloney here. This price is too small. I'm gonna go to catalog and grab a different prices. Be my guest. But I don't want you to get stuck on modifying this, guys, and come week 12 and we have presentation and you're not done.
Okay.
First, let's do the process. Then we'll concentrate on the product. Any question guys about this one? Look at the single gang switch, Spencer. Here's my switches, single gang switch. I have 8 of them carried. Here's the price for each one of them, each. And here's how extension, here's the labor, each. Here's the extension.
When you have labor and it just says round plastic box, that just means they nail it on, and that's
For what?
for the labor. I mean, you have
Yep, just
nailing
them. For fixtures though, for fixtures that include switch, for fixtures include the fixture itself. For the switch, they're including the box, like for a single gang switch box, and they're taking the switch boxes and single pole switch up. So that's a box, just nailing the box, nailing the box. I can't emphasize, guys. Later on, all this will be called one assembly here. This will be single pole, switch, box, single gang box, all in one assembly. In one assembly. Right now, you are building the assemblies. And
So
when
these are linked all together. So the box is linked with the receptacle, is linked to the labor.
Yes. Yes. So as you put the boxes, let me just take a snap. Let me just write a few things. I'll go back and show you the math in it. If you look at the math here, well, that's a summation. Go to the receptacle. The same thing is the gangs, the receptacles themselves, the GFCR receptacles, and assign. And by the numbers that I have here, please check them. I just throw these numbers for practical reasons. The numbers of takeoff here. And then they assign the labor, the price, extension, and labor and extension. For this, the same thing all the way down to the systems. And let me take a snapshot of this and exit it. There you go. So you go all the way, and way at the bottom, my friends, way at the bottom, if you guys look, I have the receptacles. We talked about this one. I have single gang outlets for all the low voltage. See where all my low voltage are. And then I have my branch circuits. Look at the branch circuits, guys. We're grouping the 14.2, 14.3, all this. Now, what happens if you use a cable that's not here? What happens if you use a cable that's not here? You're gonna put it in 3 locations. Anything you add, you have to link it 3 locations. Number 1, the takeoff. Number 2, the bill of material. And number 3, the pricing and laboring. The minute, did you guys hear me? Anything new that you modify, you have to go check it in 3 locations. Takeoff, you're gonna go make sure it's added in the takeoff. In the bill of material, it's accounted for, and assign a box for it if needed, and all this good stuff. Then in the pricing and laboring, carry it, and I'll show you how to carry a cell from here all the way back to whatever. You carry the cell and you put it in here, and then you're done. Then it's carried all the way. See how it's added up here? Then this is the total in. See how they're adding, guys, the total of the price and the total of the hours? They're adding them. So, DJ, anything you add in this cell, anything new, don't worry about it. It's captured here, and it will carry it through all the way to the bid proposal. The minute that you capture it here, guys, it's assigned the labor material for it, captured at this number here, it carried all the way to the bill of material. Let me show you how a link of this type is created. So let's just say one of these receptacles here, the receptacle, GFCA receptacle. If you click on the GFCA receptacle, guys, way at the top, you're familiar with when you put math in Excel, right? You click at the cell, it doesn't show 100 here. It shows the cell that you grab this 100 from. Everybody know that from Excel? Unlike if I click on E, look how it shows E. If it shows E, that's just text. If it's a math, this is also text or numbers. This is just number, no math in it, no cells, no connected cells. If you look at the 100, it says between these brackets, bill of material -3. This is the sheet, the tab that this cell is located from. And H18, meaning this cell equal to the cell of H18 bill of material number 3. It's taken from right there. That's why, Muhammad, my friend, they said, every time you add something there, add anything new, make sure it's linked in 3 locations. Bill of material, pricing and laboring. Any question, guys, about that? Pricing and laboring? Please do not get engaged in changing the unit price and labor units until you link everything together. That's the most important thing. Any question? So how many pricing and laboring? Pricing and laboring 1, pricing and laboring 2, pricing and laboring 3, pricing and laboring 4. So I'm going to write myself here, pricing and laboring as sheet 1 through, what did they say?
4.
Through 4. So there are 4 sheets of pricing and laboring. Everybody's there? Bill, my friend, Camille, Jim, Mr. Irbab. There are 4 sheets of bill of materials, pricing and laboring. Now, Spencer, you said, Chad, I need to add the 5th one. Be my guest. I mean, this is Excel. You can link anything to anything. What I suggest, guys, it's if you ask me, Holly, see, should I go, Chad, and redesign this Excel sheet? You know, my question for you would be no. It's not worth it. Why? Because if you are at the level of doing estimating, guys, by softwares, there's a lot of affordable softwares that the industry is using, and these are tedious. You know why these are tedious? One thing, you know why these are tedious? Not because of the linking. Every time the price and or the labor change, you have to go manually change the price and labor. That's the tedious part of it. You link it, you do a good job in linking it one time, and you're done with linking. The tedious part of it is going and checking every single component, price. That's tedious. You don't want to do that. What they do in the industry is they have a software like McCormick or any other softwares, and they buy these prices and they load them to the system, guys, and just by a click of a button, all your prices and or your labor is completely up to date.
It updates through your supply house or your...
You can buy it from supply houses, you can buy it from different entities and update them, or like a lot of people go to McCormick and get McCormick gets them from the supplies. They have their library, they update their library every 6 months or so, and they update the system, they send it to you, and you update your library, if that's what you want.
They wouldn't be able to stay up with wire prices, huh?
A lot of and I want you to ask this one to Parson Electric when they come. A lot of companies, guys, they don't like to depend on McCormick or any other software for their price and labor. So they have their own library, which they themselves keep track of, like cover and all this good stuff, and they readjust it. And because the cover fluctuates a lot, what some contractors do, instead of going and changing every copper cable that you have, at the end they have a percentage-wise. Here's what they do. We know that our cover went 10% high. You know what they do? 10% high. They take off based on the old cover price, and at the end, Just at the cover, they add 10% extra. That's one way of accommodating for instead of going and changing every cable that's copper. Okay, so that's what the tedious part of it is. Not the linking, it's just updating all this material. I will bring your attention, guys, to your total here. You're going to have, again, total for this takeoff, grounding and laboring. So we have, how many sheets do we have? 4 sheets for this step. 4 sheets.
So you said that in order to get the updated prices, you'd have to buy from the suppliers?
You have to buy them. Well, I don't know what type of agreement they have, the contractors. They have an agreement, that they can, but they don't buy them. They really would be more than happy to give it to you. The price, NICA updates their labor. Labor, every year they update their labor and material list. You can buy that from NICA. I don't know how the vendors, if they buy them from NICA, because they have all the NICAs. I really don't know how business-wise they update them, or you can call NICA and tell them.
You could probably send in that whole list and the price of everything on it from your supply house, and just enter it in.
You can, absolutely. Okay, so we got all this one, my stuff, my friends. Bill of material number 3, especially that one, I'm going to come to it, guys. I want to bring to your attention right here. Come on, still in writing. See that stuff here, especially in bill of material. You have to ask yourself, guys. No fail. These cells that have just whitened here, these cells, meters. How many meter center do you have? You're going to ask yourself, ground rod, how many ground rod do you have? When you reach this point, I can help you with this one. You need at least a ground rod. And all the other materials, guys, other stuff. So if you look at all the stuff that you need, meter 2 rigid conduit. Did you use 2 rigid? No. If you don't use 2 rigid, you're going to go there and modify it. Strap, head, wire. All these stuff, guys, are for the means. The ground, look at the ground. Ground clamp. For the ground, for the most part, the ground is going to be almost identical to this one. This one, you need to edit this. You need to edit it. You need to edit this. Any questions about this? So bill of pricing and laboring. As you start to link, the most important thing, guys, just take off your stuff first, and then see what's linked and what's not. And if you modify the takeoff sheets, just please talk to me and tell me, should I modify what should I do next? Okay, the last one, pricing number 4, guys. If you go to the bidding, here's my bidding. The last one is, this is the one that I'm going to zoom into that one here slightly. Now, you don't really need to do a whole lot here. If you guys look at the total adjusted, this is in red for one reason. When you print, I want you to get rid of the red. Everybody knows how to get rid of the red when you print. Otherwise, you print black. The reason why I put it red, because there is minimum amount of work here. Everything is linked for you. For example, you just see the amount of labor carried over, and they assign 8%. Leave it as is. Adjusted, all this built in math. $55 so far for this project. Here's where I want you guys to adjust. This value has to be adjusted because 10.65 is not what we're going to be giving our electricians, right? Did we do the math for what we're going to be giving our electricians? 3 apprentices. 35 or 36. I'll get to that one. But here's where all this, guys, is carried. How many hours this cell is math? It's already carried for you. Material, the same thing. Look at the material. Everything here is carried. Minimum changes. I put this yellow because I want you guys to change the yellow. There's some changes here that has to happen. If you look down here, there's also material. Look at the material. The material is going to be also the codes. The codes for your switch gears and for your material. The price, the taxes is going to change 7% for us. So minimum changes here, minimum changes. Other direct job costs, you might have to add a couple of $1,000 or so, or at least a couple of $100 for the permit here. Minimum changes, minimum changes. Everything here is calculated for you in this bidding. Everything is calculated. The thing in the yellow is what you need to pay attention to. Let me move to this side. Overhead, look at the overhead is already calculated for you guys. We can stick with the same overhead here. Prime cost added all the way to the profit. Look at the profit. Check how much, I can't remember how much I gave you guys the profit. You might have to change this one. I think this should be 15. All the way to the distribution. Now your distribution of labor should stay. The only thing, this will change. This will change because the square foot of your building is going to change, right? Square foot of your building is going to change. And the total hours and so forth. So that's basically your bidding sheet. The amount of work in this sheet is minimum. I can't emphasize that. The amount of work in this sheet, let me go back slightly. There you go. The amount of work in this sheet is minimum. Any question, guys, from you take your labor, you adjusted, you take your overhead, you adjusted, you assign dollar to the labor, assign the overhead, and you come up bottom line, the most important thing that you want to come up with is right here, this number. That's going to be your bidding price. That's going to be your bidding price for this project. The stuff underneath it, guys, is analysis. The stuff underneath it is analysis. Proposal. Then when you're done, guys, it's linked directly to the proposal. If you look at your proposal is carrying this bidding price directly from the sheet and slicing the payment. These are, the red ones are math cells, slicing it right away. So you don't have to do anything other than, you need to modify the stuff here, guys. Modify it. So please walk through this stuff and modify it. Just not a whole lot of changes in it, the dates and all this good stuff. For the most part, everything will stay constant. These cells will divide the payment for you, slab, or rough-in, and final. Any question, guys, about this sheet? As we go towards the bidding proposal, and all this stuff is straightforward. Okay, proposal number 2, guys. That's the back of the proposal number 1, and the last one is summary sheet. The last one, guys, just FYI, really not a whole lot to it. Nothing from your side. It's taking each one of these sheets and assigning the labor to it, total labor, adjusted labor, and all this good stuff. The material, the same thing, very similar to chapter 6 summary, and assigning adjusted gears, all your gears, and bringing it here.
Does it give us a printout of the material?
A printout of the material.
This from the pricing?
No, you have to print. When you print, this is Excel. You can delete it if you don't want it, but it will give you the material. Well, if you go to the bill of material, get the bill of material. But if you go to the pricing, yep, like bill of material. Okay. Bill of material. Any question, guys, about the summary? The same thing, total material cost all the way to the bid selling price. So summary sheet and bidding are identical. The information in them almost identical in different formats. If you guys look at this one, bid here, see the info here? The information here and the information here is identical. So why can't I minimize that one? There you go. 500. And so it's coming from the bid. See how this information, guys, is pulled directly. Come on, my computer. It's bidding this information from bidding E30. So this information is coming from the bidding sheet E30. Just organizing it. You can, for all practical reasons, you can, guys, not ignore. I don't want to say ignore, but this will be just summarizing everything you did. Your bid proposal will end. Your bid takeoff and everything will be end up at the bid proposal number 2. That's your part of the work. Any question, my friends? Any questions? Too hard? No? No? You guys be able to link them? Again, the last thing I want to show DJ or C is changing all the prices and laboring and getting hung up into takeoff. Anything that's not in the takeoff sheets, add them up and then make sure you link them. This is the most important thing you're going to be doing right here in the takeoff. Do me one little favor, guys. Try to marry your takeoff with what we have right now for one reason, because it's linked. I have students, they start and they delete everything here and they start their own takeoff. Oh, great. But now you have to go relink every single thing. If you try to live with the stuff that they have here, and if I want to change this post light because I don't have a post light, I have a different light, highlight it, make it red. That's an indication to you that I need to go link it in the bill of material, pricing and labor. Anything you do here that's not part of these cells, identical name with identical number, always ask yourself, I need to link it with bill of material and price and labor, which is not hard. Okay, any question, guys? I want to do a link a couple of them when I give you a 5 minutes break, and I want to show you how to modify one of them and link them in the bill of material and price and labor. That's really the hardest thing. The rest is takeoff and so forth. 5 minutes.
That isn't even buying the fixtures, it's just the price of mounting the box and mounting the fixture.
Fixtures are going to be a coated material, a coat. You're going to find a coat. You guys going to for the fixtures, guys. For the fixtures, you're going to find a price for all your fixtures online. What I did in the past, I can give you a couple of emails. You can email vendors and give them. But at this project, I don't like to bother the vendors. We bother them in a commercial, industrial project because it's more real. For this one, guys, get the price for all the fixtures that you did. If all hell break loose, I usually give $15 for every fixture in the house average. That's if you don't want to go research it, $15 average for every fixture that I use, average. Maybe specialized fixture in like if you're using specialized in a swimming pool and all that stuff, you might have to research. These are expensive, but average $15, average, done deal. Add all your fixture, multiply it by this number, and put them as a code. Okay, let's take a 5 minutes break. Mr. Irbab, take me to court for it. All right. I'm going to just quick. I'm back to track, my friends. Back to track. What did we say? Swimming.
Swimming pools.
Swimming pool. Swimming, 1 M or 2 M's? Okay, so I spelled it right. Swimming pool. Light. The first time was wrong. That's why probably.
Yep.
Swimming pool. Light.
ING, not aiming. Right there, yeah. Again. There.
Okay, swimming. It's not swimming. Okay, swimming pool lights. What did we say? 9. Let's just use a different number because there's 9 at the top. Let's use 8 of them. Okay, I have 8 swimming pool lights. Took them off. Now, number 1, I need to go link them. These swimming pool lights, guys, do they have a box? You're going to ask yourself, do they need a box? These are special type of swimming pool. They might not need a box. So I'm going to go, so I added them here. I'm going to go to the bill of material number 1. Under lights, are you guys there? Under lights, and I need to insert, see what I did? I insert a column. What I do for insert, when I insert the column where there's math, guys, what I do, I inserted the column. Everybody knows how to insert the column, right? I mean a row. I'm going to go type it. Either you type it, or here's how I would do it. I hit equal. See what I said? Hit equal. Hit equal. Just the equal. Put equal. And go back and pick it up and click on the swimming pool. That will pick the cell in the other sheet. Link them. The easiest way of linking them. Equal. And if you hit enter, that actually carried the language, even the swimming pool language carried it over to linked the language, not just the math, the language, linked the language right in here. Did you guys see what I did? Repeat. You can expand this one to see. Okay, here's my swimming pool. Now, a quantity. Remember what it says quantity here? The easiest way, hit equal. Right? I want this one to equal what I took. So go back to takeoff and grab this cell. And you see these little running dotted lines, meaning you are doing math, and hit enter, and you just carried this cell. See, it says take off 1B14. You carried this cell. See how easy that is, guys? Linked sheet, a tab to another tab. Now you captured what? You captured the name of the fixture or the thing that you added and the quantity. That's all what you do. The name and the quantity. We captured them. Now we're going to ask ourselves. Now we have it here in the bill of material. We need to assign a box for it. We need to assign a box. And labor. I need to assign a box and a labor because the fixture itself will be, as a price, will be part of what? A coated material later on. Okay, now these guys, if you have a swimming pool, these are special type of equipment. They don't need a box or anything. But so what I need to assign, but let's say, just for the heck of it, let's say we need to assign a box. So I need a round box or a fan box or a different box. I don't want to get into the different box. If you want a different box, all what you have to do is right click in here and insert the column. See what I did? I inserted the column. And this is going to be, I'm going to call this one a swimming pool box, just for the heck of it, okay? Swimming pool box. And you guys know how to make tables, right? Click here, make borders. I bordered it. And here's my swimming pool box. How many swimming pool box do you think I need? There's 8 of them, right? So instead of typing 8, what I do, type equal, make math, type equal, and pick the 8 and enter. So that will carry, every time you change this number, this will change and this will change. If you type it, guys, say you made a mistake in the counting there and the takeoff and you made them 9, everything will change. That's why keep carrying things. Don't.
What did you hit equal and
equal and went and pick up the cell. This means cell A is equal to cell B.
Okay.
Okay, that's easy. Then I need to assign a labor. Don't you think, guys, I need to assign a labor? To assign a labor for it, the easiest way, did you guys hear me? The easiest way is to go, because the math is already here. See that math at the top? The easiest way, if I were you, is to go copy the top. Well, copy. See, do you know how to copy a cell to another cell? If you drag this cell here, see what I did? Drag it. Now this will copy the cell that was at the top. Or say you don't want to do that. If you don't want to do that, you're going to say this is equal. I need the price to be total hours. These are total hours, and where we are assigning D times 0.25. See where it says the 0.25 here, guys? That's the price that we're assigning, the labor that we're assigning for each one of these boxes. Now you're going to ask yourself, where am I going to get the box, the swimming pool box labor? Either you're going to go to the catalogs that we have, or I can tell you, if you ask me, we can give you an estimate to install these. Since round boxes are taking 0.25 of an hour, these are slightly harder. So guys, let's 0.4. Let's say 0.4. So I'm going to go one more time. I'm going to go here. Look at the reason. Look up here and see how much hours are they assigning to a wall light. A wall light. They're assigning 0.25. So I'm going to go assign 0.4. In reality, you have to go pick up these numbers from a labor catalog. So I'm going to go here and assign. It's already assigning a 0.45. I'm going to go assign this one with 0.4 and enter. I have now, let me see if this is the math, the right math. It's taking this, yep, it's taking it from here to the fixture. These are for the fixtures. Assigning a 0.4 to installing the fixture. 0.4 hours to installing the fixture. Inconsistent formula. Okay. D14 times 0.4. So here's, you captured it by 0.32, and now it's added up here. It should be added to the total if you did it right. Make sure is it added here, which is 0.34. It's not added. You guys, either you use this one, you use sum. You know how to use sum, open bracket, and grab the whole deal here and enter. So that will sum That will sum everything that you've done in that one. You're going to add them up. So sum it. It wasn't summed, so you're going to add it. So now I captured it as an hour. I captured the stuff that I did as a labor into this calculation. Done. Done. Especially for the fixture. Why it's done for the fixture? Because the fixtures are coated material, so we don't need a price for them. They're coated material. Let's take a receptacle which takes some monkeying around. Let's take an example for receptacle. Any question, guys? So please look at the math here. Only if you need to change. Look at the math and see 0.5. Look at that. They're assigning a 0.5 for Chad in this one. So let's go back and take off. I'm going to go, guys, assign a switch. Or let's do a switch. I'm going to go, are you guys with me? Go back to sheet number 1, take off number 1. I'm going to go in, because I don't have room, DJ. What do? Right click, insert, and I'm going to go, what do we have? Switch, pole switch, 3-way, 4-way, fan switch, dimmer. I want to say I don't have a 2-pole switch here. Say I want to have a 2-pole switch, right? Single switches. I'm going to have single pole switches. I want to have 2-pole switch. Okay, 2-pole switch. I have a 2-pole switch. I counted them 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 15. Say I have 20 of them. You guys have any problem with that? I have 20 2-pole switches. I have 20 2-pole switches. So I wrote them here. I need to go link them where, Spencer? To a location, bill of material, and pricing and laboring. The reason why I didn't take the fixtures, guys, for pricing and laboring, anybody knows what reason? Because they're taken off. Let's go to the 2-pole. Here's my 2-pole. I'm going to go to the bill of material. No, not here. Bill of material 2. These are the switches, right? This is where I have the switches. So what do you think I need to do here? Are you guys there? I went to bill of material number 2. Everybody's bill of material number 2? No? Is this hard, guys? Is it seriously? I don't want to look at. Is this hard? No? I mean, linking and all this good stuff? Huh? Not too hard? So bill of material. Let's go. The easiest way, guys, to grab the stuff that I added, Spencer, equal. So I'm going to hit equal. I'm going to make this cell equal to the takeoff cell of number 2-pole and enter. Now I picked, see how I picked 2-pole right here? I picked the language 2-pole right in here. Step number 1. This is step number 1. Pick up the language. Step number 2, guys. What I normally do, here's what I do to make it easy. See the math here at the top? Math here. Grab this and drag it down. It will copy whatever math in the top one to the bottom one. Whatever math in the top one to the bottom one. But then you have to check though. Okay, so let's go. So I copied it. Again, one more time. I grab the top, just randomly, and drag it. You guys know how when you drag it, you copy the math. I'm going to go, then I'm going to go to 2-pole switches, says 0 here. I'm going to go equal. Just go equal. And where do you think, Spencer, right at the cell where you enter that 20 and hit enter. Now what did you do? You grab that 20-pole circuit breakers. Let me see, I don't know. So I'm going to go, 1 second, equal here, go back to takeoff number 1, and I'm going to get 2 and enter. So I captured the 20 single-pole switches that I had. Captured them. That's the first thing. Then you're going to ask yourself, are they each one of them in a single pole? I need to assign a box for it, and I need to assign a switch. Okay? I need to assign a box and a switch and a plate. A box, a switch, and a plate. Okay? Let's start with the box. Are these single gang boxes? You're going to ask yourself, are they where they're located? Are they single gang boxes? Most likely, yes. This is a single gang box right there. Any one of these. So I'm going to hit equal and enter here. So I have, Spencer, I have 20 single gang box for these 20 2-pole switches. Questions about that? Let's go to the plate. The plate for single pole, guys, are the same like the plate for single pole and 2-pole are the same plate. So I'm going to go the same thing here. See where it says single pole, plates, single gang. single gang plate. I'm going to hit equal and grab it directly from here and enter. Now I have 20 boxes and I have 20 plates. I skipped the switches yet. I skipped the switches. I assign a box and a plate. Questions? I assign a box and a plate because the boxes and plates are the same for single. Now you have to know that. If you don't know that, ask me, guys, when you add it. Say, Chad, how am I going to modify this? Is the box the same? Okay. Now, do you guys agree with me that the device? Now this is the device itself. Switches. Do I have single pole, 3-way, 4-way, dimmer, and fan? Do I have a 2-pole switch here? Part of my assembly? No. So what do I need to do? I need to come over here. Where do I want to put them? Let's go put them at the end. Right click here and insert the column. Shift down, shift to the right. Did I insert it? What did I do here? I right click, insert. I don't want to insert it here. I want to insert it way at the end. So I go. If you guys do a mistake, like I do, you can do it. There you go. So I want to add it right at the end. And I don't know how your knowledge with you can go delete the border and put new borders. Are you guys familiar with that? How to border and how to make it look nice and all this good stuff? So here's the switches. Now, what I'm going to have 2-pole. I'm going to write 2-pole, right? Here's my 2-pole. Now, what do you guys expect this one to equal? I'm going to say equal 1, 2, enter. Now, I captured a 2-pole switch, a newly added 2-pole switch, a newly added 2-pole switch. Very easy. So, the question you're going to ask yourself, DJ, have I accounted for the device? No problem, Chad. There's 20 devices here. Have I accounted for the plates? No problem, Chad. 20 plates. Covers. Have I accounted for the boxes? Yes. So I accounted for the box, the plate, and device. Done. Now what do I need to do, guys? Remember, the only 2 things that I added, always ask yourself, did I add plates? The plates were there, so they're carried. Do I add boxes? The boxes, meaning add a new item called boxes? No. So the only 2 things that you added that you have to account for right now is the device, which is single pole switches. Oh no, oh no. Restarting. Huh? Yeah, that marker, I think probably that's creating the issues. Okay, so any question, guys? So the only thing I really needed to add in reality, boxes are already accounted for because I'm using the same box, the device, the 2-pole. I linked them, I took them off, I linked them in the bill of material. Where do you think I need to go now? Pricing and laboring. I need to assign pricing and laboring. Okay, so let's go to bill of material, done. All the way to pricing and laboring. Where do I have switch receptacles? You guys see pricing and laboring number 1? Yeah, did everybody see that? That's receptacle. I need switches. Switches, I think, at the top. There you go, right above it. Can you guys see that? Luckily, I have space. Now, if I don't have space, what do? Insert another space. No problem. Okay, I'm going to go sit myself, but remember, these are for the switch plates. I'm going to go back and insert them way after insert. Look what I did. I want to insert right after the fan because I want to group my switches together. See why I did it here? I have single pole, 3-way, 4-way, dimmer, fan switch, and right underneath it, my newly added switch. Is it wrong if I added it at the bottom? No. Organization skills, boxes, switches, plates, done. Okay. First of all, do I need to account for a new type of box for that boy? No, we use the same. Do I need to account for a new type of plates for the switch? No. If I need to, what do you need to do? The same thing, add them here. Okay, so we're here. The easiest way is to enter. Look what I'm going to do. Enter. I'm going to go capture the language. I can capture the language from many locations. I'm going to go capture it directly from single pole right here. Okay? And enter. So I capture the language. I have 2-pole, newly added. I'm going to put it in a yellow. No, not yellow is not a bad. I'm going to put it in green. I just to know that this is a newly added device. Okay, up to this point, any question, guys? Equal, link it to the plate. Any question? I need to, now, instead of doing the math, you would be, I don't like to use bad words, you would be not smart if you go and start doing the math on these. Here's what I would do. Copy the cell above it, guys, because it has the math in it. Here's what the easiest way, look at that, grab that cell, But why do you think I'm going to grab that cell? Because that cell has already multiplied this number by this number to equal this number. Multiply this number by this number to equal this number. It's already built in the math. So, and drag it. See that little icon, the ones who don't know math? See that little icon here? Drag, hold, and drag. That will copy the upper cells on the lower cells. The upper row in the lower row. If you grab this cell here, you will delete the, what you did already. Okay? The first thing, copy it. Why do we copy? Get the math. Do I need to copy? No. You can create your own math. Okay, now we're going to ask ourselves, see that cell here? Now, Spencer, how many of these I need? Devices, 20. So I'm going to go equal, and your choice. I'm going to go directly all the way to the bill, either bill of material. Let me just see where they're bringing him from. They're bringing him from bill of material. Okay, let's go directly all the way, equal, directly to the bill of material. Where did I put them? Bill of material devices, right here. Right? That cell. So I went all the way to the bill of material, right under the two poles that I inserted. Click on it, equal, meaning grab whatever in this cell from this sheet into the coming sheet. Very easy, guys. And hit what? Hit enter. Now I have carried 20. Why do I do it? Why can't I just type 20? Because if you type 20, every time you change it in the takeoff, yeah, now you go change it in the takeoff, guys, put 5 there. It will change all the way downstream to 5. That's a nice thing about linking up. Okay, now I know I did this one. The second thing you want to ask yourself, guys, is the price. Look at the price. The price right now for these 2-pole switches is $10. Now, you're going to go to the catalog in the back of this book, or you're going to go online or anywhere else if you add it. 2-pole switches, you're going to find, say we have $5 for the 2-pole switches. We found it $5. I changed it to $5. It's already calculated. And then let's look at the material. So my material to install the labor to install this switch. Here's what I would. If you don't know, guys, you're gonna go find it. You're supposed to go find it from a labor unit catalog. If you don't want to find it in labor unit catalog, and say you haven't seen it, go compare a 2-pole switch to a single-pole switch. Single-pole switch, guys, is 0.2. What's the difference between? Really, almost the same. So look how they're single-pole switches. They're adding 0.2 to it. Let's add 0.2. So everybody knows why 0.2. Here's a 0.2. Enter.
Would you consider the fact that it's probably not really a stock thing and that you have to take an extra trip to the truck maybe in special effort, you know?
You can add it at the end, all this stuff. I wouldn't.
Okay.
I wouldn't. So then, then do I need to do the math? The math is already copied, guys, for you. What did I modify? I modified, number one, I linked this. Not red. I linked this. Did you do something to my board? I linked this, and then I linked also the number, and I changed the price and the labor. Everything else math-wise is already linked. It's not like it's rocket science. We don't know how to link it. It's just fast. Make it fast. Why should you? What they did here, for example, look at that, guys. They're taking cell B16 multiplying by F16. That's what they're doing. Instead of me typing B16 times F16, copy at the top because this is repetitive. Everything is repetitive. Any question, my friends? Now, done. Spencer, done. Because now the minute that you put it here, it's already captured in this sheet all the way at the bottom. So it should be captured right in here with your price. Everything they've done should be captured with your price and labor. With your price right here and labor. With your price and labor. Everything should be captured in your price and labor. See how it's, if you click on the math, it's taking everything in these cells and adding them together, sum. If you can't believe me, for those of you who are good with Excel, click on that one. It's taking everything in these cells and adding them together. Okay? That's it. That's as ugly as it gets if you are to add something. Please remember, when we add, we're going to add them in the takeoff, number one. We're going to add them in the bill of material. Number two, ask yourself, do I need a box, a cover for it? And you're going to go to the pricing and laboring. You can use the catalog for pricing and laboring that Mike Holtz has at the end, or you can use any other. You can ask me what I like to use for this project, guys, just use your judgment. As I said, single pole switch, three-way switch, the labor is almost the same, knowing them. So assign the same labor to it. That's what the SAG and right, scientific swag and wag, swag and wag. Let me see if I have the labor unit. So, and I want to bring to your attention, guys, as you go for your switches and receptacles and all these good stuff. Here you go. Single way switches. I don't have three-way switches. These are 15 amp, 120, 121. Okay, here's switch, 20 amp. I'm looking at page 29 at the end of this book. 29 at the end of this labor and price catalog. If you are having a switch and you need switch to be 20 amp, 240 for this one. I have 20 amp. I don't have 220 amp. 240. I have 30 amp. I have 30 amp, 250, 2 pole. They are 32 labor. 32 divided by 100 is what? Like 0.32. They're assigning 0.32. What did we assign for it? Assign 0.25. 0.25. If you guys gonna go change it to point.
See, they took into consideration it was
In stock and adding it.
Yep.
So you can feel free to adjust only the ones that you guys added based on these catalogs. Any question, my friends? This is really as ugly as it gets to modifying this sheet. This sheet is good, but anything you add, anything you delete, always ask yourself, I have to go make sure it's linked in the bill of material and in pricing and labeling. Bill of material and pricing and labeling. Any question, my friends? Is that too much, too little? Muhammad, my friend, it's Monday morning. Too much for Monday morning? With the kids and everything else, and the cats and the dogs and the hyenas. Okay, it really is, guys, not a whole lot to it. Let me just take one more. So take off, let me go take off, for example, cables. How about if I have a different cable than these? Take off cables. What am I going to do for cables? I have a different chat. I'm doing different cables, wires, whatever. The same thing, guys. Come over here. I get out. See where it says Chad here, or total, or whatever. This should be the total length. Let's say I have a cable, and this cable was, what do I have? 14 to 14. Let's say I'm using for the range. A range, I think we're taking. Remember, guys, we're taking stuff for the range and the home runs in a different location. So I don't want you to get confused between that one. Pricing and laboring, bill of material. There you go. For ranges and for other equipment, home runs, you might have to add them right in here. You might have to add stuff, remember, right in here for the pricing and laboring, bill of material 1. Here you go. So you might have to add home run dedicated circuits right in here. But really, as long as you link it, it doesn't matter where you link it. Let's go back again and add. Let me see where they took this one. Take off D4. That's where we were. Let's say we're gonna go add a cable. Let's say I have A3, right? Cable 8-3. And I'm cable 8-3. And I'm 8- cable. By the way, how about the wires? If I want to put wires too, these are just cables. Can I take off the wires here? No problem. Add the wires. So I have cables, guys. I'm gonna go delete this 6 here. This is the stuff that I added. I'm gonna go highlight it with come on, buddy, with the green, so I can don't crash on me. I'm gonna go highlight it with green. So this is what I added. Why do I highlight it? Just for my own, so I know how I have to link it. Okay, so I had length. Go measure 1, 2, 3, 4. You measure it. Everything is okay. I came up with say 150 feet. 150 feet. You measure it. You type 150. We typed 150. Okay? Are you guys okay with this? Yes, sir.
I just was curious, I had a question, I was just kind of looking at these, blocks in the back.
Uh-huh.
Um, This is, you want us to use this, or, cause this is a really old, well, $108 for 1,000 feet of 14.2. Come on, really?
250.
You know what?
I mean, it's just,
Yeah.
I mean, if
Yeah.
it's just numbers you're looking for, it's fine, it's just not,
Just
it doesn't even correlate.
Update it.
Yeah.
Update it.
Especially wire, huh?
Update it.
Yeah.
It's so easy to find, guys, the price of
Switches and
copper.
stuff are
Yeah.
really-
Update it. Switch is not a whole lot. Update it. You go to a Home Depot site and update the price. You can Home Depot or any other place. Just
When I put in that 10.3, it went to August 3rd. How do I change that again? Format
Text.
cells?
format text.
Format cells.
Yep. And you go to text. Okay, so we got 150, guys. We're gonna go try to link it in the bill of material. Not here. Not bill of material. If you don't know what it is, not here. Bill of material, not GFCI, not here. Bill of material, not here. Bill of material. Here's my bill of material. This is where we took off the labor, guys. So what I need, since I don't have a column now, I don't have a column that says these are coming from takeoff 3D5. What do I need to do? Here's what I would do. Right click on this, if I were you, copy, right click here, and paste it. So I created an identical copy, guys, identical copy of the 12.2. So what do? I'm going to change this one to, what do we say, 8.3? 8.3. 8.3. See what I did, guys? I copied it, changed it to 8.3, and then I'm going to go to, where do they have them? They link, these are for the home runs. Material, they have listed them. I think they're grabbing this one direct. Oh, here, branch circuit outlet, wiring, branch circuit outlet. Here's that's the total, guys. They're grabbing the total from here, and this is just the total. And now I'm going to go, not the home run, just the total. So I'm going to go hit equal right here. And where do you think I'm going to go? To B3 and pick the 150 and enter.
Where did you go?
Equal.
Yep.
I'm going to go to where I insert it in B3 and take off 3.
Which one did you use?
Let's go back to
150 or which
Yeah.
one you grabbed?
150
Okay.
and enter. I grabbed the 150 wire of 18.3. The 150 wire of 18.3. I have it in the bill of material. Linked it. Now, if I have a home run 18.3, what do? Now this is just the in between. The home run, say circuit A, I don't know, say circuit A 22 dash 24, and that was feeding 18, let's say range, and I insert, and underneath it, the home run, I calculated the home run, guys, and for a home run, I added another 20 feet of home run. So that's all added, another 20 feet of I took it all in between them, and 20 feet of home run to it. My total is what now? 170. Okay? 170. We're cool? Now, we're done? No. We added it. We're going to go link it to where? The bill of material. We're going to go to the pricing and laboring. Okay, here's the pricing. Go to the next one, guys, which is pricing and laboring. Pricing and laboring. It says we're branch circuit wiring and home runs. Can you guys see that? This is where pricing and laboring. Now remember, I don't have this type of cable. So what's the easiest way to get this type of cable? Copy one row. You guys are okay. Let's pricing and laboring number 1. Pricing and laboring number 1. Okay. Now I have room. Luckily, what if I don't have room? Just right click again, and then my apology if I'm repeating myself here. And insert. Okay, and then I'm going to go copy something similar. Well, 18.3 and 10.3 and 8.3 similar to each other. So I'm going to go grab the 10.3 cable, copy it. Okay, that's the easiest way. You can do it anyway, but that's the easiest way. Enter, paste it here. Okay, so I copied 18. I'm going to go color it with the color so I know this is different. I'm going to go rename it. What was it, 8? Or the easiest way I would do instead of renaming it, when I copy it, I just go equal, guys, And where did we brought this material from? We brought it all the way to takeoff 3. I'm going to go grab it from here. Enter. So I grabbed the name, even the name, I grabbed it from takeoff 3A9. You don't have to do that, but I grabbed the name. Okay, 15. Let's go see. I already copied, so there's some material here. Equal. I'm going to go to B. What did we say? Bill of material 3 or takeoff. So monkeying around to get to where you want to do here. Where are we here? Takeoff 3. Bill of material. There you go. Bill of material 3. But I want the bill of material though. Where I put them? I put them in bill of material. Last bill of material. Here you go. Right in here. Why do you think I grabbed this cell? Because that includes the home runs and the in between. I grabbed it from pricing, bill of material 5, and enter. So here's my bill of material, my 170 feet of 18-3. 18-3. Now, I need to go check myself and see how much would it cost material-wise. Either, Mr. Bew, if you're too emotional about it, just go get the price and stick it in there. Or, really, I mean, or you can go to 18 NM 18.3 NM cable. NM cable, it's page 26, 18.3 cover. 18.3 cover are listed here 601, so it's $0.6 per foot. Okay, so not each like we did here. So if you guys want to do it each like they're doing this cable, what did we say? What did they say? 0.6? Okay, so I'm listing it 0.6, and by any means per feet, each per feet, and that's it. And labor installing 18.3 and 10 is similar, so 0.06. Let's see how much are they listing it for? 18. Labor 16 hours for 1,000. Yep, the same like we have here. So I have assigned a new entry here. I have assigned a new entry, my friends. First, I picked up the name. Second, I picked up the length. Third, I went and modified the price. And then everything, the math is calculated because I copied it. Then I went check the 0.016. If you guys look at the catalog that this is coming from, it's 16 hours for every 1,000. So that's 0.016. And added them all up, done. It's captured. It's captured where? Captured right in here. Captured the total. Yes, sir.
Where's your total coming from in the bottom right box?
This one? This one should be adding everything, all the labors. All the labors.
From all the pricing and labor and shit?
From that sheet. That sheet only. Look at, double click on it and see.
You know, it seems like you have one. Oh, there, see, there's one above there. Okay.
Yeah, there's more at the top. Yeah. It's all, yeah, because it was at the top, there's some stuff. Yeah, so this is, guys, this is including, this cell including everything here. This cell including everything at the top. It's capturing it. Okay? So that's it. I added and modified one device, guys, 2 devices, and a cable. By any means, you can add and modify. This is a great exercise for those of you who are going to be project manager estimators. If you think this is too much work, stay with the CAD and be a CAD drafter. I mean, it really is, there's nothing wrong with that. Do the best that you can do for CAD and move on. You know, we guys, this program is meant to create estimators, project managers, AutoCAD drafters. You know, we don't know where you're going to land, so we're going to get you the full spiel. Any question, my friends? Do me a favor, the ones who are the A students of you guys, please look at one thing, the price. The price is old. I know the price is old. So look at the price, especially the cover and the cables, and modify them. Other than that, we'll when you get into the labor, adjusting the labor, I'll show you how to adjust the labor too. And any question, guys, about the takeoff, bill of material, and pricing and labor? Takeoff, bill of material, pricing and labor. Gentlemen, if you are to enter this business, you're going to be with it for next quarter, the quarter after with Chad and else. I mean, if you, it's monkeying around with numbers and numbers change but all of you guys got Excel, right? Here in our, except you guys. And really the Excel math in it, that link sheet to sheet. Have you guys done link to sheet before? Link sheet to sheet? Huh? A while, yeah. But you see, equal cell from sheet A to cell from sheet B, no problem. The math in it is very simple. The only new stuff for some of you, probably some of you, is how to link two sheets together. When you print this one, guys, you can print the entire file because multi-sheet. So you can print the entire file if you set them right the first time. And Spencer, I'm not going to show you how to set them anymore. But really you can that's where the format here, page break, where the format page break, normal and yeah, here, page view. This becomes very powerful, guys. When you do multi-sheets, you can go adjust them. By any means, you don't, because you can adjust all these sheets and print them, split them all at one time. So, but most of you are familiar with the normal. If you print right now as is, you don't add a whole lot. It's already set to print in one sheet, everything that you can see in one sheet almost. If you modify it and print weird, I can help you with that. Any question, my friend? If you print me this colored and this will be dark black like this, you will get a 0 on assignment, guaranteed. The reason why I put the red here, guys, to give you an idea that wherever there's a red, there's minimum amount of work involved. Minimum amount of work. Does that make sense? Doesn't mean there's nothing, but there's minimum amount of input information that's already done for you, unless you need to modify. Please do not. I have students printing it all in the black like this. When you print it with red, it's unreal. It's just no good. Also do me a favor, guys. Do yourself a favor. Every time you modify something, color it with a different color at least before you print, and then you go there and then pick the whole thing and say no color, no fill, and it will change into black and white, no fill. If I were you, I'll have two files when you guys are done. One file colored for you to know. The other file is non-colored, no fill in it, to print from. Any question, my friends? Any question about this? Is that hard? I want to hear you guys. No? Not hard? What you just leave on a Monday? No? Good? Okay. This is just a fast intro, guys. Took 2 hours to go through them. But as you start going, Spencer, with things, just feel free to ask too. It's really not hard. My expectation, guys, to get full assignment, full credit for the estimation, as I would like you to have E1 through E12 in front of you. When you're done with your takeoff, you're going to give me a full set colored and say, Chad, I'm done with my sheets. Here's a print of 8.5 by 11, 16 sheets, and here's the colored 20 E1 to E12 complete full color. Did you guys hear me? That give me an idea that you did the takeoff, because anybody can throw numbers here. It's not really rocket science. Gentlemen, thank you. Go eat. When you come back, I'm going to be wandering around here to help you with any other questions and setting the assignments for the presentation. Yes, sir. Give me 1 sec, bud. Everybody's hungry, man. I get. I'm sorry, DJ. Here, I'm gonna
No,
stop
that's
now.